The Fablemens is Steven Spielberg's latest film, and I think his last. I don't know if that was just a rumor that I heard, or something that I just completely made up in my own head. But I'm pretty sure this is his last movie, or at least again, it has been circulated that it is. And yeah, I mean, he is a legendary filmmaker that I really don't need to babble on about too much because it's fucking Steven Spielberg. Everybody knows who that is. And it'll be weird to know that he's not making movies anymore. I think that is something that feels like a constant, like he's just always around, even though his films, as of recent, have taken a pretty big hit in quality. I think I don't know when he started making movies yearly, but ever since then they've just been kind of a little meh. I mean, obviously he's made some of the best stuff around. The Indiana Jones movies, Jaws, Minority Report is really great. I'm a little iffy on like Saving Private Ryan, but Schindler's List is obviously a phenomenal movie. Steven Spielberg is good at what he does, but his stuff as of recently really hasn't grabbed me all that well. The Post from, what was that, 2018, I think, and then he made like the live action BFG, which was a weird choice. West Side Story remake from last year, which I absolutely did not like at all. I don't ever think I got around to reviewing that one, but man, that was not good. But yeah, I mean, if it were going to be any time to end, it would probably be now. And I don't know. I was a little bit worried going to the Fablemans just because I really wanted him, if this was going to be his last. I hate to keep harping on that, but if it was going to be his last, I wanted it to really be like a slam dunk, a movie that he could go out on as like a really nice, I don't know, bookend his career. And that's exactly what we got here. I think that The Fablemans is one of the best movies we've gotten from him in a very, very long time. And not only that, but one of the best movies we've gotten all year long. There's a big asterisks I'm going to put in front of this movie. You really have to have a tolerance for cheesiness and corniness and I don't know, really sappy sentimental stuff, because if not, you're going to really have a hard time getting through this one. It is 2.5 hours long, and it is mainly about family stuff and growing up, and loosely based on Spielberg's own life. Again, if you really cannot stand the schlocky, Oscar baity type of emotional stuff, you're really not going to like this movie, I think. I think a good majority of, maybe a good minority of people are going to find this thing really, really boring and not really understand why it's the front runner for Best Picture right now. But for me, I absolutely loved this movie, and I felt such a connection to it. I know the running joke now is that every film student or everyone who wants to be a film student is in love with this movie, but I think The Fablemans really does nail down what it's like to have a need and a craving to do something and have a calling for something. I think its themes of family and not only that, but like broken family and how that can affect one's trajectory in life, and how, accurately it portrays growing up, even if it was in was the 50s and the 60s, I think this movie is set in, something that is completely foreign to someone like me. Anyway, I think it really accurately portrays that sense of wonder and that sense of need to do something with your life when you're younger, and how little things can I don't know, build connections with each other. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I think that this movie really accurately depicts what it's like being a younger person and falling in love with eventually what becomes your career. I thought that the lead actor in this movie, I don't know his name, but he's the child actor that looks a lot like Edward Norton. He was phenomenal. I thought he was really, really great. Some of the best child acting I've seen in a very long time. I thought Paul Dano was fantastic. Really, really good stuff from him in this movie. Um, Sometimes I can't get over the fact that that's Paul Dano. Like, it's just very obviously Paul Dano trying to be a dad. But that's not taking anything away from his performance. I thought he was phenomenal. And the woman who played his mother in the movie was really great. I don't remember her name at all. Seth Rogen is also in this movie, and he's pretty good. He's just, dramatic Seth Rogen. So he's just kind of like a lovable goofball. It's what he plays in all of his movies. So much of The Fablemans can come off as cliche, but I think it works so well just because of how much heart it has, if that makes any sense. It's such a perfectly cliche movie that it honestly works so well for me. One, it's super well made from a visual standpoint. It's Steven Spielberg really putting his all into the fluid shots and the production value and the lighting. All that stuff is really top notch here because I think he really wanted to put his thumbprint on that a lot in this movie. I think more so than he has in recent years. So that was great. I really, really loved that. But what is the central, I don't know, hook for this movie? The central selling point is that it is so goddamn sappy and so over the top. I don't want to say over the top corny, but really reeling in the cheese that it works. It just is so messy and full of emotion and full of heart and full of complete earnestness that it just comes off as one of the most genuine and moving movies I have ever seen. It really feels like a filmmaker's goodbye to what he has been doing for his entire life, and kind of Spielberg pouring his entire heart and soul into this movie. And that's why I really, really loved The Fablemans. I think it goes above and beyond the normal, movies about movies thing, where it just is so in love with the story that it's telling, and in such a sweet and charming way that, I don't know, I just felt such a genuine connection to this thing. And every other aspect of the movie, like the screenwriting, the acting, the direction, the lighting, the editing, all that stuff is really, really great, top-notch stuff. But what really sets it over the edge and pushes it into like great territory is that central heart and that central love for what it is. And also the David Lynch scene, that was great. I know everybody's talking about that recently, but I thought that was really, really good. I didn't think it was like, this all-inspiring scene like a lot of other people did, but I thought it was very funny. So yeah, that is my thoughts on the latest and probably last Steven Spielberg movie. I'm going to give The Fablemans a light A. I loved this thing. I really don't have a solid reason why, other than it's charm. I don't know. I don't know why this movie works as well as it does, but it's phenomenal, and I really, really love this thing. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I'm going to be seeing another movie on Friday. I'm not sure which one yet. But there's a couple movies that are on streaming and stuff that I'm going to be watching and reviewing this week, so look out for those. And other than that, I will see you guys later.